One of the things that I found the most difficult for me is silence indoors, and was one of the first things that I noticed when I was on my own, that I can't stand silence. You see, I've got to have a human voice around. One of the things that I found the most difficult for me is silence indoors, and was one of the first things that I noticed when I was on my own, that I can't stand silence. You see, I've got to have a human voice around. So as a consequence of that, ever since I've been on my own, television comes on first thing in the morning, or the radio will come on, and it stays on until I go out, and it comes back on as soon as I come back in, and stays on until I go to bed at night, basically, because I need that voice in the room. And I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and they're the same. I find a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I do that," subconsciously, I suppose, but they do it because they can't stand being in a room on their own.
I'm pretty forward, really, in my outlook of things, but I'm trying not to get down, and things like that.
The routine keeps me going because I get up in the morning. I have a set routine when I get up, although I don't realise it. And I go down. I put the kettle on. Television goes on straight away, or the radio, just to have something in the room. I make myself a cup of tea and I have a banana, and then I sit there. I might watch a bit of television or read the paper that I may not have read the day before, and I have breakfast around about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And that keeps me going then until evening, which I tend to have my evening meal between 6 and 7. But I do that on a regular basis, you see, so it's like a routine. Yeah, it's a routine I've got into, and I stick to it, come what may,
I have found, sleeping, that's bad. And sometimes I get up about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'll make myself a cheese and tomato sandwich.
A man needs a woman, definitely, to help him with his everyday life, because there's things like I didn't used to iron. Now I iron. I couldn't. I know it's an awful thing to say. I had to switch the washing machine on.
Oh, I think it's much harder for men, definitely, because they haven't got that. We've got neighbours that we can see during the week, whereas a man, they tend to more go out with their friends, don't they, to the pub or golf course. I think it's much, much harder for men. Really do. If I'm fed up or if I was feeling miserable, I could pour out my heart to a friend or a neighbour, and she would do the same to me, where I think men bottle it up. They feel it's too soft to say how they feel.
You see, you've got to be careful for drink as well. It's so easy to go to the bottle and things like that, and you've got to be really careful.
You've not got to expect anything, really. You've got to make an effort. I don't care how old you are. I think you've just got to make the effort. Which isn't always easy, and believe you me, I've had some miserable days when I've thought, what's it all about? But then I've booked up the next day and think, oh, well, it's up to me now. And I'll probably ring 3 or 4 people that day just to get back in touch.
It's because you could go out and you can have a good day, I've got, as a consequence of the Tuesday Club, I know a lady now who I've met, and she said she was lonely, and I sort of said, well, look, would you like to meet up once a week, for coffee? Which is what we do. We meet every Friday now, which is nice, a couple of hours together. But at the end of the day, I say cheerio to her, she says cheerio to me. We then go back home and shut the door, and then that's total isolation again. It hits home as soon as you put the door shut and put the lock on, you're back to square one. One of the first things that I noticed when I was on my own, that I can't stand silence, you see. I've got to have a human voice around.